somehow to lead to this discussion. So the first point is, okay, I will introduce myself again. Maybe some of you haven't been here in my first conference before the camp. And then we will have the content of observation of Maurice, what I just told you before. There are some comments in the social media or in the media in general that came up, which shows me that maybe there is misunderstandings or not everything is clear. Then, okay, questions. The questions you can already take when you have or we have a topic and you want the question, because you don't have to wait until the end. And we might have also the discussion already in, but we don't want to keep it too long. And okay, at the end, you also can give your wishes. Now the idea is maybe doing something like that every, I don't know, month or every 2 months or whatever. Or if you have any other idea, you also can put your idea in, so that the communication between the federation, coaches of the federation and you will go smoothly, and you will get the information you need, that you are also writing something where it is based on information you got, at least also from our side, if something is not clear, and not you get it somewhere from the streets. So, the ball is always on the guy who is talking. So I'm still having the ball. Just to get some points again in your, to remember you, okay, I don't have to talk about my name again. I'm not married, I'm married but have no children. You can see my age now. Something about my working experience, because this was also a topic somehow in your comments, that this guy, I'm talking from this guy, is me. This guy has no coach national teams, he has no experience what he is doing. I'm a no-name person, and luckily for me and my staff and the federation, in the first 2 matches I could prove that I have some idea about what I'm doing. Probably otherwise, because of your comments, I would already have been gone. But okay, you see, I have coached national teams in the senior and the youth. In Nepal, I was national coach. In Yemen, I was national coach. In Mozambique, I was national coach of under 19. In Bhutan, I was national coach of the senior team. And in Myanmar, I was coach of the youth team. I was assistant national coach with the German Federation of the youth team. I coached senior teams in professional clubs in Germany and in Malaysia and in Canada. So most of my, as you see, most of my things I have done, I worked always on the field, because I never wanted to become an officer. So the only 2 times, because the German Federation was asking me to do, I was an officer, was when I was working for the Asian Football Confederation, sent by the German Federation as director for grassroots and youth football. There I was really an officer, having nothing to do on the field. But I told my federation I will only do this for 1 year, because you are asking me. Because that's not what I wanted to do in my life. So most of the jobs in my life I was working on the field. And in most of the jobs where I was sent by the German Football Federation and the Olympic Committee of Germany, where the projects were paid by the German government, I was not allowed to coach the senior team. Because these projects have a long organization process through the embassy, and then it takes a long time that it is done. And they said, if you are then working as a national coach, they all asked me to work as a national coach there. I said, I'm not allowed because, okay, you lose 2 matches and you are gone. And then this whole work and process that I've done before was in vain. So, in these situations, I was always working with the national team in the back. I was on the field, I was somehow acting as an assistant coach. I was in very close contact with the national coach about everything. So, to give you a little bit of background, what I have done. And the other thing is, because also this will come up about development, I started as a coach instructor, and I probably was one of the youngest coach instructors in Germany and probably in Europe and in the world. I started with 32, and I was coaching coaches, and I was giving courses for refreshment for coaches that have already worked for 10 or 20 years. Me as a 33-year-old guy is talking to someone who is 50 or 55, and he is telling them how to work football. So, out of this experience, you don't go there and say, okay, now I'm telling you, you have to answer every question they give you, you have to answer about football. So, you have to go deep in football to do these situations. And this is helping me in all my work I have done, and it is also helping me in my work I have done now with your or our national team. Because for sure I can explain and I can demonstrate what I want from these guys, and I can explain and I can demonstrate it in a way that most of them can understand. So there are always people who don't understand. There are different reasons. They don't want to understand, or they are too stupid to understand. So now, the consequence out of this, and especially we are coming back to this situation when I had to kick out, let's say, for the moment, some of these players out of the squad because I cannot work with 40 players. I had to make decisions and I haven't had much time. So that's why I kicked out for the moment some of these players out of the squad, because they could not fulfill what I was asking them. It was not because one of my assistant coaches, Eve is not here with us now, told me, kick him out. I even had to explain to them. They said, no, this is a good guy, this is a good guy. I said, it doesn't make sense that it's a good guy because he's not doing what I'm asking him. So that's the reason. Not because I don't like his name, I don't like his face or his girlfriend. Okay, so I put some of these comments from your side. I don't know who put it in the World Wide Web together, and I will go through and give maybe then some discussions. So coaches not having much experience in coaching the national team senior. So this was one of your comments. Now the question is, what is much experience? You need 20 national teams, or you need 2 or 3. So I told you already, at least I have 3 senior national teams coached already. So I have experience. And I have experience from my youngest age as a coach that I was working with selection teams. Selection teams means I had select the best youth players 16, 17, 19 in my province, Bavaria, where you know Munich is the capital, with 6,400 clubs, to put a team for this province together, where we then organized us and went to a tournament where all the German province teams came together, and then the youth national coaches were picking the players for the youth national team. So I worked together with Bayern Munich players, with Augsburg players, with all the cities, Nuremberg players in the Bavarian south. So, do you have an additional question to this point? I am not experienced enough to coach your national team. Do you have any comment? Anybody? Somebody must have sent this message or have this idea. You have? You want to ask something? You get the ball.
Okay.
Yes?
Thank you, Coach. I'm not the one level Rwanda or upper level, and who has achieved the goals that we want to achieve. For example, qualifying to the AFCON, creating or building a team that can qualify to the World Cup in the next years, if you tell the truth yourself.
Yeah.
Because we know we can't qualify for the World Cup now.
Yeah.
So this will be ideas. You didn't coach at the level of Rwanda or the other team that is better than Rwanda, and you didn't achieve those results that we are dreaming about our legend achieved in 20 years back.
Okay.
That's their reason.
Go on. Because I was not here. And I haven't qualified for Asian Cup.
Continental.
You are totally right. So now the reason is because I was always interested to, let's say, special countries. So if you saw my CV, when I was starting my career coaching abroad, this started 1999. So at that time I was asking FIFA, because there was no internet, there was nothing else like that, to send me the small book where all the national federations have been in. So, and then I was sending, at that time, I don't know, we say also fax message. At that time we were sending fax messages. So I was sending out 2 fax messages. One was to Nepal, because I always wanted to see the Himalayan, and I was very interested in this country. And the other one was FIFA ranking even below Rwanda. And Rwanda is still not on a high level. But okay, my idea was always from the start FIFA World Cup, where the 2 last teams at the bottom in the FIFA ranking were playing together, and this was Bhutan, one of these teams. You cannot, for sure, I'm never expecting that you are winning this. This doesn't mean, when I'm now in Rwanda, that I don't want to qualify for the World Cup, or whatever, or AFCON. The main point is that for sure, and this you can be sure, that I know from what I'm talking. Okay. First caller. Criticism. Why have I chosen these players? About the situation. You remember, I came 1 week before the camp. I had seen, I think, 2 matches of your league before. So, what happened then? I saw some of your players there, and I get an idea about the quality of these matches. And then I was sitting together with my 2 assistant coaches, and then I said, okay, I need, for every position, I need 3 proposals from you. And I told them what I'm expecting from this position. This means I gave, and we are still working on it, but I told the players already, I have a job description for every position. This means I have a job description or a description of this person for a goalkeeper, for a fullback, for a center back, for a center striker. So, and according to this, we were discussing about possible players. And for sure there were some players, and I think there was a discussion about this number 10, yes? Huh? There is no question, also from my side, that this is not a good player. No, he's a very good player. But, okay, every coach has, because I saw they are not fitting in my plan. So, that you are, and now I have to say, that you are questioning why is this guy not in the squad, is okay. But, if you are telling this coach has no idea what he's doing, then this is the wrong words you are using. Because you are disqualifying me. At the moment,
we are not surprised that you have something you want from this, from that, from the people around you who you are going to work with.
yeah.
You explained one situation. Yes, it's very normal that even DM staff, when they do a call up, people can be like, why this person is not there, why this is in. It's very normal. You mentioned one situation which I think I can re-ask.
Yes. So, yes, this is a very difficult situation because this guy is somehow one of your best players. The problem is, for a player like that, you have to build the team around. So that they are covering the points he is not doing, and he probably will not start to do. And this is now the question for us as coaches. Is he this person that you say he must play to be successful, that we are saying we are building the team around him, that it is working? That's a difficult question. Now let's say it's the Messi from Rwanda. So, is he Messi? Or is he somehow playing like him? But not his level. So, you can be sure every time we are in this stadium and watching a game where he's playing, I'm watching him and I'm thinking, okay, I haven't done a decision now. Changed to that. So I was criticizing the team a lot after this match because there were a lot of situations where things were still not done as I wanted. And I had an interview with FIFA 2 days ago with someone who called me, and I said, somehow I was very happy that I had this match against Zimbabwe before the match against South Africa, because I was learning a lot out of this match about my players, because before I only saw them in training sessions. Now I was seeing them when they were competing against not a bad team. And I saw what worked well and where maybe they still haven't understood what I wanted from them. And I was also criticizing them for the second half against South Africa. Because they fell back to old behavior. Somehow I have to admit what the coach of South Africa was saying, we were playing kick and rush. Yes, in the second half we were doing it. And that's what I told our players. And if you act like that, and you could see now in AFCON, some of these teams, maybe it was, I don't want to say the name. They were playing in the back, 1, 2, 3 passes, and then there was a long ball, and there was one striker in front. You don't have to be a football god to understand that you will not be successful if you play football like that. So, lucky, we have done it much, much better in the first half against South Africa. Because if we would have started like that, we would have lost. So, this is the next step for me now, working with my team. On what worked well, and what didn't work. And I will explain them, and I will watch them, and I will see what they are doing on the field. And if someone is not following what I'm telling, or we are telling them, he is out. And as I said, as a national coach, you don't have much time. You only have a few training sessions. So if you see someone is not doing things as you want, so that you have a chance to be successful, then you have to take him out and you have to change him. And in one way, this is very good that players understand and get the experience from our side that this is not a joke when I'm talking to them. It is clear what I'm expecting from them, and who is doing best will get a chance to play. That's why some players who didn't understand were getting a chance to play. Okay, now this is a very bad comment. The coach needs to get rid of his assistants. Luckily, I'm not following this push, because I get very angry. And you know, this guy was giving out the team before our South African game, how angry I can get. So, now you get the ball for a moment. Can you explain?
Actually, on this point, I think we all I had so many messages on my Twitter accounts. I was listening to some radios, but it's good. It motivates, and that's all about football. But for this player, so it's not Jimmy, it's not Eve, it's the head coach, because he's responsible. So I don't want to talk about this match. I think you heard about shooting. I was not happy because it's somehow like you're trying to kill someone's image. If someone starts to comment like you're getting money from the players, how can I get money from a player? I'm earning more money than a player myself. Mbayuko Mushuti Nungana, he gets money for Shuti to play. Shuti has been playing like 2 coaches. He's not the first coach who played in Shuti, but he explained maybe Shuti is listening to what the coach is asking him to do. So I want even to come back, maybe this is an opportunity for us. We are talking. We are discussing, it's an open round. Very few. Normally, where he needs to play. It motivated us as players. You don't have to cover up for the player who is not running on the pitch. Critics make people better. But it's not good to side with this side, this side, this side. With this guy doesn't like this player. There's no way. We are assistant coaches, we advise the coach. I don't want to talk a lot about this, but I wasn't happy personally because I'll never take money from a player. That's very cheap. Thank you.
You do and you act, you get a chance to play. So, what signal I'm sending if I'm only giving the guys who have now, I don't know, 20 or 30 or 40 caps, they will play and the others will not play. So, that's how I'm doing my job. And with shooting, if you saw how he scored, if you saw how he worked, if you saw how he was using his body, and this is also something I have in my job description for a center striker. For a center striker, I say you play normally at least against two big guys in the back. So now, if you are small and thin, it's difficult. It's very difficult. So if you have a body like Innocent, and you saw how he scored the first goal, how he was using his body, you saw how he was saving balls. Still not perfect, but he was exactly what I'm asking him, and he has also the body for it. Because if you're only 60 kilos, these guys just move forward and you are moving with them, because you have nothing to push back. So I'm not happy that he is not, or he has not played or get the chance in his club, because I think he would have helped the club. But okay, every coach is doing his own decision. I don't see how he is doing in the training or was doing in the training there. I only can say how he was doing in our training. And there he was 100%. And you saw how he was playing. And the problem was, I was getting questions from FIFA, do you talk with your players? I was talking with Innocent a lot, and with Igihugu I was talking a lot, because you, as Coach Jimmy said, because you already killed them before playing. Just think out of their position. If the whole media is telling you that you can't play football. So, and for that, I don't want to know how good he would have been if you would have been a little bit more objective with him. And not make him small. Make him big, as he is. He's one of your most talented guys in the country. Normally. If the coach can see it, coach can see it. Question.
One, right? Critics has invited us here for this open discussion. When you listen those news about Shruti and Igihugu for you, does it bother you much preparation? Does it disrupt on your side? You said on the side of players, psychologically they are being
satisfied. So then I had to make my decision. And the same is with Tattoo. Tattoo is for sure, if you watch him, I don't want to say that he's like number 10, but he's doing things, special things.
Yeah.
No question about it.
100% right.
He's doing special things. But how often? And then if I see that someone has on his passport 17 years, this makes me somehow also starting to think.
Okay, Coach, about that point, it's like a question, but also I want to understand about these players that have been evicted from the camp. Some of them are still young. They sometimes made a mistake because maybe they don't understand. They've been with so many coaches, most especially in their clubs. They did not heard about professional career. Like, let me take an example to Elika too. He's still a younger player. Maybe he made some mistakes as you explained to us. Did you try to explain so that he's not going to be affected by going out? Or when you call him again, he answered the caller. Did you try to explain the mistakes they did? Thank you.
Keeping the ball back. The situations also on the technical board or in the meeting before, then in the training, then after the training. Before I sent out Eve, I was calling Eve and I was sitting down with him and I was talking to him and I was explaining to him why I sent him out. So I gave him the feedback. I told them what I asked from them. I showed them, I explained on the field, in the meetings, and I also told everything. In the 1 against 1 you can see, if you are in the striker position, what are you doing to pass your defender? And you can see if you are in the defending position, what are you doing or how are you acting? Any body fake or fake with any trick with the legs, just kicking the ball and running after the ball. I want to be clear. Now is it the right back or is it a midfield player beside you? Now you have these 2 against 2 situations on the right side, or you have it in the center, or you have it in the left side. So now if you don't know what to do, then there are misunderstandings on the field, and misunderstandings means you don't score or you get a goal. So that's why I'm developing these guys. I'm not doing the work of the technical director. The technical
last like 1 month or 2 months, it means that much time the players spend in their clubs. And did you plan or did you talk to the technical director to meet the coach of the Premier League or Premier League especially, and share ideas of how you expect the players, the national team players to play, just like the ideas with basic skills that they don't have?
Something I will sooner or later do, that I will meet with all the coaches. What I will do now in the next week or weeks, I will meet personally with these coaches. Because now I'm taking one step ahead, what I wanted to talk at the next question, because we were working on a national training concept where
I would like to ask you this question. It's going to be almost 3 months here in Rwanda serving your nation. I would like to know on that point of the scouting.
We are thinking about backup, and because I haven't seen them live on my training pitch, I don't know now if this guy who will come will now be better than Innocent, or he will equal, or he will a little bit weaker. So, for example, giving you just an example, center striker position is one where for him I would be happy. Now, okay. How long? Okay. No, okay. I have time. Not a problem. Now, okay. Wishes you want?
Yeah.
Are there any more questions?
Made him not attending at the football stadium right nowadays.
Corruption and which?
Yeah. These are two. But the third one is that everyone in the camp wants to be a coach, wants to act like a coach. Have you experienced that problem? The that problem. Have you experienced that problem at your base camp? Because is it a skill like our experience said and about this too, which and corruption? Have you thought? So, how are you planning to bring him back?
Who should sit on the bench or get out of the field or whatever? So, this is one bad thing of football because everybody once in his life normally has kicked in the ball and then he thinks he can play football. And if he has kicked twice in the ball, he thinks good because that makes things interesting for everybody. In my camp, I have not had the feeling that there are 25 or 30 national coaches. I think I'm very happy with my assistant coaches, and to the assistant coach group is also Serge as fitness coach, very well together. And this was one reason why, even there were a lot of difficulties, I can tell you, in this camp, things still worked out well. And about corruption and witchcraft, okay, you can be sure I didn't pay anybody.
We should leave some opinions. Okay, you can have an opinion, but don't force your opinion to be the right opinion. You could everyone.
So, and I think the best thing we can do, because I know from your president that he is a very clever person and that he is loving football.
Would be generalizing, would be not being fair.
You're right.
I think the good thing to do is give them chance and see if they can prove you right, prove us wrong, that they can't fit in. When the talent is there, hard work is what is required. If they can work, then we are lucky to have talent, added value to our national team. If they don't, then okay, it's forever. They are born for good and for life. That's my first wish. The second, I think you comment on that afterwards. Before the game, a week before the game, or in the worldwide level, they predict the starting lineup. I'm a journalist of L'Equipe, and I'm not, but I'm trying to let you understand. I'm a journalist of L'Equipe or France Football. I want to know the starting lineup of Les Bleus of France who are going to start. I work for Bild. I want to know Mannschaft Germany who are going to start. If I have the intel in the camp and I'm announcing the starting lineup, for me, I did my job. For the camp, I wonder the harm, I wonder the problem it causes, because you can play first 11 times, 12, 13 times, you know the starting lineup and you can lose. Because of the quality, because of the tactical formation and how ready they are. Knowing the starting 11 of Liverpool, it doesn't mean that you're going to win against them, no. I think I would really be happy to know what you think Because you know the first coach we had in Rwanda, who is not happy for that. Like we had like 3 previous coaches complaining about why do you release the starting lineup a day before? Why it's not helping? How? We want to know how. My wish is do not blame a journalist because he released the starting 11. We are patriots.
But now we are already officials. So you are wishing that
I wish Rwanda was in the national team because it's capable of doing everything.
ngiye kubimusobanura wenda abibabwire because nk'ukuntu mubivuze hari some players mwumva yuko bagomba kubahamagara byose tuba twaramubwiye niba ufata decision nk'ukuntu abibasobanuye yuko Olivier Muhadjiri ndakeka niba ngiye kumubwira arebe ukuntu avuga kuri aba abakinnyi ba players and I say you putting me in a difficult situation because I suggest all the players, we scout all the players, and we make the final decision. So the players they're talking about, there's one player who plays in Libya. He has been the captain of the national team. He's called Haruna. There's a defender called Solomon, former captain also.
A mix between experienced players but also young players, because everybody is giving its input or his input. So an experienced player with a big history, then you are starting, as I said, you are starting, oh, this guy is good, why is he not playing? And the young guy is again starting to shake. So should I create problems like that if I'm happy with a young player who has already shown that he's doing good? Yeah.
Ushobora gukora that media guy kubera yuko arimo areba performance ya umusaruro wawe you're not performing igihe ahantu ukumva yuko barimo baragushakaho goals ntabwo urimo gutsinda bigera n'ahantu wumva yuko udashobora no gusohoka yambayeho muri Romania hako hari ukuntu bigufasha nawe kureba ukuntu ugerageza gukora cyane hako hano hari ukuntu biba personal iyo umuntu ashobora no kugushyiraho nk'umuntu ushaka kwica kariya yawe umuntu ugenda avuga yuko wenda runaka ari muri betting Umutoza ndabizi ko ari muri betting ushaka kumamagara izi information izo before publishing. That's my wish.